All right, everybody. Happy Transformational Tuesday. Deborah Dixon-Anderson here from Light of Gold PR and Gold Wellness Circle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to take that flyer off that my team did such a good job in putting together so that you could see me. Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Happy Transformational Tuesday. I know I'm typically not on a Tuesday. Okay, so we're switching things up a little bit because this information was just too good for us not to do on a Tuesday, and we can make it all about transformations, all about accountability and smart goals. And I'm just so excited to be presenting this topic. We're also going to be doing under Light of Gold PR something called Gold Profile, reinvigorating our old YouTube. And we're putting our Marketing Monday, Transformational Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday. Every day is going to have a theme, and we're going to put it all under Gold Profile. So guess what we have going on? So much stuff, right? It's Labor Day. We got some great specials. Jessica, you could put that flyer back up there. I know you did it too early. So we have some great Labor Day specials off of our services, our coaching, our marketing, our websites, all the services that Light of Gold PR provides. We're going to be shaving 20% off. So please reach out to us if you are interested in reinvigorating your marketing. If you need a website, if your website's not engaging, if your marketing strategy is not engaging, go ahead and reach out to us. We're happy to help you. And we want to help you finish strong this last quarter of 2025. We're all going after new business, existing business, old business. So reach out to us so we can help you. And so pull up the other flyers. Let's go ahead and see our upcoming events. We're super excited about this because we will be doing our breast cancer awareness, either Zumba event. We're going to have that coming up on October 18th, probably in New Jersey. So stay tuned for some more information. Reach out to us. We also do our Gold Business Connect holiday event. That's going to be in November, on November 18th. So November 12th, I'm sorry. Stay tuned for that. We're super excited about that. Our Kwanzaa event is going to be coming up also December 28th. That's a Saturday. So stay tuned for that. And we are super excited about planning ahead for our Gold Women's Health and Business Awards and Conference. That's going to be in May. The 13th through the 14th. We're super excited about that. If you're interested in any of this, go to our lightofgoldpr.com website or email us at info@lightofgoldpr.com, or feel free to text us. We still answer the phone if you want to call us at 212-786-6838. Feel free to text us there or go ahead and give us a call. We're happy to talk to you about any of these things. We love to be able to help you with. Coming up in October in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we do have our Dominican Republic trip. We're going to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, with a small delegation of ladies for Gold Women's Wellness in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Super excited about that. And that is coming up in October from the 22nd through the 26th. We're already working on 2026 events. So reach out to us if you're interested. Okay, so let's get into it. We love wellness here. So Gold Wellness Circle is definitely something very special to us. We have a new board, and so we're excited about that. And then with Light of Gold PR, we've been doing marketing, branding, web, and all of that for the past 18 years, if you could believe that. And so what I'd like to share with you is our fantastic topic that we have today. And I am super excited because we have a wonderful guest who I've known for almost 10 years. She's my feisty friend, my feisty sister. I am thrilled to have Rita Williams Bogar on as a guest, and we're going to be talking about how SMART goals and accountability can be the winning formula for your business success. And so I'm going to switch things around a little bit because we are going to get into some statistics, but I do want to bring Rita on with us so I can introduce you to her. So we're going to take that slide off for now, and I'm going to add Rita to the stage. Hey, Rita.
Deborah.
Yes,
Great.
yes, yes.
I'm
So
so excited.
yeah, we're so excited to have you. You are actually our second feisty because you know we always have Casey Carpenter. One day I'm going to get all of our feisties on one call all together.
It would be
that
great.
that is my goal and a little dream of mine to have all of us together because we've been walking together and we've really shared so many wonderful things on our walks together for the past 5 years, which is pretty phenomenal, pretty phenomenal. And so, and I'm so excited to have you here with us today because of anyone that I can have on as a guest. I love your approach to staying on track for being a coach and an educator yourself and keeping even students, people that you teach, people who come to see you talk. Your SMART goals are an integral part of your approach in your business and everything that you do. So I just wanted to have you do like a brief introduction while I move some things around. I'm gonna spotlight you, and that way you can share about your background and what you do.
Sure. So, Deborah, I am thrilled to be with you today and to share what I find so valuable. It is so important to be able to measure our goals. So, to give a little bit about my background, I do this for a living. I speak at conferences. I help empower people by sharing knowledge to help them with their leadership abilities, to help them communicate better, to be strategic thinkers. Because thinking beyond today is so important. You don't want to just drift through life, and if you're a business owner, you certainly need to have a plan and a strategy in order to run your business. I spent a significant portion of my life, 25 years, in the corporate environment where I led multiple operating divisions, multi-million dollar budget, 8 states, lots of people who I was responsible for leading. And I reached the point where I decided there was something else I wanted to do with my life. And so, being strategic, I put a plan in place and then I left my corporate career. Took about 6 months to figure out what do I want to do with the next phase in this next phase of my life. And for a while, I was spending time really figuring it out. And then about 6 months after I left my corporate role, I formed my company, Personal Development Solutions LLC. And it was interesting starting a business after having run a very large organization. So I felt grateful that I had the background I did in setting goals, knowing how to hire people, sometimes having to let people find other opportunities in other places. And I went from, let me think, what am I going to do with the next phase of my life, to being booked, typically a year out, to speak at conferences, to facilitate workshops. So I'm having a blast helping people get that focus and get that clarity in their lives. Someone paid me a compliment a week ago that I wrote it down and put it near in my line of sight. And this person said, "You are very intentional in how you live your life." And that pretty much describes it in a T. So I'm thrilled to be here to share as much of this with your audience as possible. And I welcome comments and questions along the way from anyone who would like to learn more or figure out what is it the SMART goal concept is about. So that's my brief introduction. Jumping into the goals themselves. So let's talk about this. How many of us have said, "Oh, I want to do something. I want to go on vacation. I want to travel. I want to get a promotion in my organization. I want to start my business." And we tend to think that that actually is a goal, when in fact, that's a dream. It's not a goal until you've put it in some sort of format. So I am going to share a an image to help folks to see the components of what a SMART goal is. And I'm allowing the sharing, so I'm hoping everybody is able to see what I'd like you to see. So, first thing I need to distinguish, the SMART goal is separate from the action plan. So, the goal itself is, what is it that I want to do, accomplish, achieve, or attain? It is not the how I'm going to get that done. So, we want to make sure that all of this criteria are met. Is the goal statement specific? To say, I want to go on vacation, there is absolutely nothing specific about that. Or, as an example, one year in my corporate life, my boss said to me, "You need to decrease your budget." Okay. If I don't order one box of supplies, I will have decreased my budget. There was nothing specific about that at all. So we need to be able to state the goal in about a sentence, no more than two. And I don't mean a paragraph worth, a simple sentence or two. And of course, I have an example I'll share with you. It's got to be measurable. The measurable component is the, how will I know that I'm reaching this goal? How do I measure it? How do I quantify it? I have two A's here. One is aligned and the other is attainable. So you want the goal to be aligned with your vision, aligned with your organization's goals. If you're looking at this from your business perspective, if you're looking at a life goal, how aligned is this statement that you want to make with that? And then attainable. SMART goals are goals that are reachable with a stretch. If it's something you can do so easily, something you can do in your sleep, then it doesn't meet the SMART criteria. You need to have a stretch goal and relevant. Again, relevant to your business, relevant to the market you're looking to serve, and then timed. Without a date, it's not a goal. It's a wish. It's a dream. So to say, I want to go on vacation next year, that's still not in the SMART format. It's getting there because it does have a time, sort of. Next year when? Next January, next March, next December? When do you want to do this? So let me share an example with you. Here's one from a business perspective. Very weak, a very weak statement. I want more clients for my business. So, what I've displayed for you is a template which helps you fill in the blanks. Notice there are 5 components, the same that meet the SMART acronym. And it's not going to be drilled down to a simple, clear sentence yet. So, specific. What is specific about this? Not much. Measurable. What does it mean to have more clients? Do you get one more? Do you want 10% more? Do you want two more? How are you going to know you've met that aspect of the goal? Is it achievable? I don't know because we can't measure it yet. Relevant. Sure. Having more clients may be relevant to your business. And then time bound. I don't see a date in there. So when should this goal be achieved? So I filled in some blanks to give you a little more guidance on this. So, very specific. I will invest time in those activities that will put my business in the room with potential clients. So, in the room, it could be a virtual room such as this. It could be you're going to Chamber of Commerce events. It could be you're doing specific networking so that you're in the space where people are. Notice I haven't talked yet about how you're going to do that because that's not part of the SMART goal. Measurable. Okay, I want to increase the business by client base by 10%. That's how I'll know, did I make it or not? Or did I exceed it? Because I
Right.
proudly wear overachiever on myself. So whatever the goal is, I always want to do more than what it is. Achievable. Can I identify growth opportunities to help me to increase my client base by 10%? Relevant. Yes. If you're stagnant, if you're just standing still, you're treading water, there is no growth. So we want to make sure that this goal is relevant and increasing our business, presuming we can handle that capacity, which is a topic for another time, Deborah. Handling that capacity is important. And then time bound. I'm going to accomplish this by year end. I'm going to digress for a moment because when I mentioned capacity, so when I walked away from my corporate career and I decided what I wanted to do with the next phase of my life, I found myself taking on too much. I was saying yes to everything. And so what happens? I was feeling stretched thinly. I'm almost burned out and I'm a new entrepreneur. What business do I have of being burned out? And I stopped and said, I've got to be able to meet my obligations. I cannot take on more business than I'm actually able to handle. And I literally cut back. So that's something to think about when it comes to capacity. How much business, how many clients can you service? On time with quality. Just having more and not doing things well is not effective. That doesn't help. You're going to go in the other direction, down instead of up. So now let's talk about the action plan. Now we get into the how. So notice two things. One, I have reframed the goal. This is what you're going to work with. You fill in the template, the SMART components, and then you drill it down to a sentence. So, what I've got here, I will increase my active client base by 10% by December 31st, 2000, whatever. I leave that for you to fill out. So, now where's the specificity? Like that word? So I know I'm going to increase my active, notice I said active client base because it doesn't matter if I've got 100 clients and none of them are doing anything. My
That's
active,
right.
you know,
That's
we've
right. We
we've been
talked about this, Rita. We know about that.
there. Exactly. And sometimes you reach a point where maybe that client is not to be your client anymore. So I'll increase the active client base by 10% by December 31st, 2000, whatever. I want this to be evergreen. So whatever year. That's the statement. And now you start building your plan based on that statement. So, what am I going to do? What are the steps I'm going to take to ensure that I've increased my active client base by 10% by the end of the year? Seek referrals. How many times have we been told the best place to get new business is from your existing business? Who will refer you to their marketplace, to their customers, to their colleagues? Next step, I'll identify the products and or services that will be most appealing to my demographic. Yeah, so we're doing a couple of things in this goal, in this action plan to achieve this goal. I could have all the products in the world, but if my customers don't want them, I'm not going to be able to sell them. Or services. There are things that I love to do that I don't do anymore because it's not helpful to my client base. And so you identify those products and services that are going to be helpful. From
Right.
there, What do you, another step? I said I was going to, in this, for this goal, I'm going to be in the room where those clients are or potential clients. Well, I need to identify three places. And you, when you're setting your goal, you pick your number as to how many places you want to be in, and make sure that when you are attending these functions, that they really are viable for you.
Yeah.
So 3 marketing opportunities during the fourth quarter, since we're doing this at the to get a kickoff for the fourth quarter. So what are where are 3 places, 3 rooms that I need to position my business to be in, where potential clients may be?
Right. So
And then I
I'm just gonna mention something
sure,
there, because that does have to do with marketing. I think some of the things that we find out from our clients is they don't know how to identify those rooms, or they realize those rooms are not really delivering to them the types of clients that they're looking for, or maybe they're a service oriented business and most of the people in the room are product based, and most of the people looking for are looking for products, they're not looking for services, or vice versa. So when looking at these rooms, you have to make sure that they're the right rooms that you're in, and that's not always going to be right off the bat. Sometimes it's going to take a little trial and error to find out where those rooms are. This is just strictly from a marketing perspective.
sure.
The goals are great, and we should have these goals, but I think where small businesses, businesses where they get stuck, they get discouraged. They get discouraged because they realize those initial places don't work for them. Well, you got to find some new places.
I
That's your
will
job.
Right, that is
You gotta
exactly.
do
And
that.
I will I will paraphrase something I read, because that's such a great point, that small businesses think I'm going to know this right away. No, you're not. You're not going to know this right away.
Nope.
I believe it was a story I read about Thomas Edison as he was inventing the light bulb, and he had all these trials. He tried this, it didn't work. He tried that, it didn't work. He tried the next thing, it didn't work. So somebody said to him, "You have done this 1,000 times. Why aren't you stopping?" And he said, "I figured out 1,000 things that don't work. 1,001 was the one that did." So I would recommend to small business owners, being the owners of small businesses, because I like to reframe the language, the owners of small businesses, to use trial and error. Yes, you want to be strategic and find those rooms. Sometimes it's the room where you least expect it that you are going to make that connection. I will share this. I was on the golf course, one of my favorite sports. My favorite four-letter word is golf. And so I met somebody new, and the person said to me, "So what do you do for a living?" Because I have a goal of increasing my conference presentations during calendar 2026. So that's very specific, time bound. I know what I want to do. It's going to be measured, and I have numbers in mind. And so the person said, "So tell me, what do you do for a living? What's your work?" And I explained what I do. She says, I belong to an organization, and we're planning out our speaking engagement calendar for 2026. Let's talk some more so we can see where you are aligned with our mission on the golf course. Okay. The deals are not
That's
closed.
amazing.
Absolutely amazing. And
Yeah.
so I researched her organization because, of course, as the entrepreneur, you're looking at, all right, what is it? Is that the room I want to be in? Is it the room I want to
That part.
position
That
my
part.
business to be in? And so I'm sitting there typing into OneNote on my phone her name, how I met her, what her organization is, so that once I got back to my laptop, and off the golf course, because you don't want to do that research on the course because you do want to play. I researched her organization, and they happen to be an organization that advocates for women. Well, that's part of what I do. I just got an award for the
Yeah,
work that I do advocating on behalf of women. So there is
yeah,
an alignment with them. So the golf course isn't the room that a person might think you need to be in for your business. If you have your elevator pitch, which connects to marketing, then you can have that conversation with people to find out, is this the best room for me to be in? There are some rooms
yeah,
that truly they don't work for me to
yeah.
be in,
Right.
and
That's
that's fine.
important. That's important to know what works for you, and not to and Rita and I are friends, and so she knows that, if I complain about a client or a partner or being on a board, and if I'm complaining about too often, maybe that's not a good fit for me. Well, then that's the same thing that you have to do as well. Maybe you will find that you decided to work with a particular company on a particular project, and it no longer feels aligned anymore, or it's something you dread. Okay, you have to listen to yourself. A lot of times we look at the money and, oh, guess what? The money isn't what it used to be, or it's way lower than where it was, with other clients, or where you're looking to go. Maybe you need to get to some bigger fish, work with some bigger companies, bigger organizations, but you are spending an inordinate amount of time on this project with this client, and you realize this is not the sandbox that you want to keep playing in, and
Right.
so you have to make that decision, as painful and as hard as it is to back away from projects, clients, uh, alignment, partners, whatever it looks like, that no longer serve you. They no longer feel aligned with you. It doesn't feel right. And a lot of times we ignore that feeling. We complain about it to everybody else, but we ignore, we keep, we stay with that. And that's a lesson that we all have to learn. When is it time to leave a particular situation? Because you know what? You make space for new opportunities when you
Exactly.
leave. And fear, that fear kind of kicks in for a lot of people. It's like, or maybe this is what you've always been doing. You've always been working with this company, this client, and there's a part of it that feels good. Maybe it's working with youth or working with women, but the other parts of it no longer feel right for you. Then you still have a decision to make,
Exactly.
and that's important, as far as looking at your SMART goals. Where do you make room to engage those three or four, new organizations? Where do you make that space? Oh, guess what? You're spending like 50% of your time on this particular project or client that you no longer want to work with anymore. That's where some of your time is,
Yes.
and I find that becomes an issue for so many, businesses, yeah.
Agreed.
Mhm,
Agreed. And since we're on that thread, that's something that I faced because I needed to
mhm,
find out who were my most valuable clients.
yeah,
And that is a very subjective term. Some people may identify value as money. Some people, excuse me, I identify value not only as the potential revenue, but does this client align with my values? Are they how they operate effective and efficient? And so I downloaded an app. I use Toggle, Toggl. I get no commission. I wish I did. Sometimes track
yeah. We could change that, Rita. I'm
you know,
gonna work
track
on it.
we need to work on that. Track.toggle.com. And I started logging in how much time I'm spending on every single activity for every single client where I either rent my brain or I lend my expertise,
Yeah,
such as volunteer organizations. And then this gives you a report every week. And then when you start looking at these reports, reports, you're seeing trends. Wait, I spent how long working on this? And this is what I generated. So the fee might have sounded nice, but what it took to get there, the
Yeah.
value per hour was substantially lower.
Right. Right. Yes.
Let's finish the last step on this goal, and then
Hmm.
we'll make another transition. So, uncovering prospective clients' needs and closing the deals. That connects with the products and services. What is it this client needs? And if we can take our mindset and reframe it to it's not about me and what I want to get, but what I want to share and what I want to give by uncovering that person's needs, it really helps. I attended a workshop way back when I was brand new at this, brand new as being a business owner. And the speaker said, make sure you are the Tylenol to the pain that the client has.
Wow.
That shifted my
Wow.
mindset because
Wow.
I was chasing the dollar. I need to make money. I need to
Yeah.
make money. I need to make
Wow.
money. And then what happens is we don't build the relationship
Yeah.
because being transactional, doing something once and getting paid once, that's nice. I'm not ever going to say don't do that. What I'm going to say is evaluate that to see if you've built a long-term relationship. So if I can uncover their needs, then I can work towards closing the deal. You might not close the deal that day, just as my example of the person I met on the golf course. We're talking 2026. Another situation, I submitted a proposal to an organization to be a keynote speaker for a conference they're having. They've got some stuff, my fancy word there. They've got some stuff going on in the background, and it's taking them a while. And so my contact said, might not be able to use your services for this. However, I belong to this organization and
Yes. Yes.
we're planning 2026. So let's meet in December
That's
and talk some
amazing.
more.
Yes. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love when
Having
that happens.
me too.
Hmm.
Actually,
It's
because that comes down and this connects with what you do, Deborah, as far as providing those services. It comes down to your brand. Do
yeah.
people trust your brand?
Absolutely.
And if I had been
Absolutely.
taking all the work that was coming my way and not giving it the best because there was too much, my brand would have suffered. And I am my
Yeah.
brand. So
Yes.
that would have
Yes.
suffered.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Rita.
Absolutely.
Boy, this is great stuff that Rita is sharing, and anyone who's tuned in, maybe a little bit after we started or midway. I can't believe we're like halfway through already. This is
Right.
amazing. It's crazy. But you're watching Gold Profile. This is Transformational Tuesday. We're talking about SMART goals and accountability. My wonderful guest and friend Rita Williams Bogar is here with me from Personal Development Solutions LLC. And I mean, 25 years of corporate leadership experience is just so phenomenal. And she's a TEDx speaker, y'all. She's fantastic. She's also award winning, so just know that this live that we're doing right here is with an expert. So she's just phenomenal at what she does. I wanted to make sure that I shared some statistics. I didn't get a chance to
Sure.
do this earlier, but I thought it would be so impactful if we talked about, um, you know, how important it is to write down goals or to document goals. And so studies show that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them compared to those people who do not. Okay? So that is a statistic that we always, I've had clients before, past and present, when I ask them about their goals and what kinds of goals they want to achieve. The scariest thing to a consultant, a marketing consultant, a PR consultant, is to hear, "Oh, I have it all in my head." Well, I don't have access to your head. So
Right.
I need you. Do you not have a business plan? Do you not? That usually becomes a conversation where, okay, maybe they don't have a business plan and we need to pull all this stuff out of them and document it. And then that's where we get into the SMART goals and laying everything
Right.
out and looking at that. And sometimes that's just the scariest thing, even for people and businesses that are successful. I've gone into larger organizations. Scariest thing for me, having a technology background, being a marketing and technology consultant, is, oh, Joe has that. Okay, go ahead and ask Joe. Oh, but I think I wrote it down on this sticky, or it's just something scary like that where nothing is documented in a manual, in a file, in a document. Now everything's we have things
Digital.
in Google or
Yeah.
Microsoft. It could be documented someplace else. It could be in the cloud. It could be digital, but it has to be somewhere other than your head. That's all I can
Yes.
say. Please.
Yeah.
Has to be, you got to pull it out of there, so it's so important to make sure that you document any of your goals. Make it real, put it on a calendar, have it as a pop-up. All of these SMART goals, they're great, but making sure it's real in a bunch of different places is super, super important to do that. So we always like to make sure of that. Here's the another great stat. The American Society of Training and Development found that people are 65% more likely to reach a goal if they share it with someone.
Hmm.
Let's talk about accountability.
Yeah,
You share it
accountability.
with someone. And here's the kicker. And this is where we get into the lane of Rita and Deborah, where we are
Yes.
as accountability partners. If your accountability partners meet regularly with an accountability partner, their chances of success jump to 95%. 95%. Yes, you heard me correctly. 95%.
85.
That's almost a guarantee that you could be successful with the SMART goals that you put into place. 95%. When you are working alongside someone and now this becomes even more real, or it becomes a situation. I know for me, we talk about FOMO, right? Fear of missing
Yes.
out. Well,
Yes.
I have a fear of not accomplishing something. I can't show up to a Zoom meeting or an accountability in person meeting with Rita and not have accomplished what I said I was going to accomplish 2 to 4 weeks ago. That's a big no no. So let's
Exactly.
talk about the accountability.
Sure.
I think it's so important just sharing all of this with someone that you're like-minded with. So here's the thing. A lot of people get into, well, I don't have anybody to share this with. I don't have anybody to work with. Or, oh yes, I do have someone I can work with, and maybe you're not aligned, with each other. And that does happen.
It
Um,
does.
I don't I know that we're aligned, so we
Mhm.
don't have that issue, but there are people that do. So choosing the right accountability partner is important,
And
right?
that comes back to
Mhm.
knowing what it is you want to do and
Yes,
what it is you want to achieve, and
absolutely.
recognizing that by stating it to someone who's going to say, okay, so where are you on this? And let's talk about how we do this. So with Deborah and me, we have some goals that are similar. And what we do when we meet is we say, okay, Deborah, what are three big goals that you want to achieve over X period? It could be a
Right.
quarter, it could be semi-annual, it could be a year. Now, notice we said
Yeah.
three. We're not trying to make this a
Right.
monstrosity that you can't achieve.
Yeah.
And then Deborah was, okay, Rita, what are some goals, three
Yep.
big goals that you have?
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
we codify that So it's written. There's a document
It's a document.
that says, you see, we're laughing because, yeah, we got to do it. There's
Yes,
no excuse when it's
yes,
documented
yes.
and somebody knows that it's documented.
That's right. That's
And then
right.
we'll schedule a meeting where
Yep.
we will have our action plan. So yeah, I
Yeah.
one of my goals is to write an ebook, and I can
Yes.
share if we have enough time at the end. I have an alternative for those who may not be able to do SMART goals. There's a concept called clear goals, which connects with accountability. And so we'll discuss, is this feasible? Yeah, I want to have, in August, I decided I wanted a printed book, a physical hard copy book by November. And Deborah said, you could do an ebook by then, hard copy, physical, that may not work. So that accountability partner is also your reality check.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
It is not a
Yep.
discouragement, it's a reality check. Another
Yep.
benefit of having an accountability partner is, now that I know, oh, I'm going to be meeting, Deborah and I are going to be meeting, and we're going to be talking about this. All of a sudden, all these ideas start coming. The
Yes.
creative
Yes.
juices start flowing because now
Absolutely.
I'm accountable to somebody outside of myself, because it's very easy to get busy being busy and think that means we're
Oh yeah.
productive and think
Yes.
that means we're achieving goals. Yeah, I went to 50 events. Yeah, and
Nothing
so
happened.
what about those events? And having the accountability partner, also knowing what Deborah's 3 goals are, I may see some resources that are helpful to her, and I'm immediately going to shoot those to her. Have you
Yes.
thought
Yes.
about this? Here's something that might be helpful to you. So now you've doubled your time
Mhm.
and your resources that may be available to you as well. I mean,
Right.
it's
Right.
great. It's
It's
great.
great. It is amazing, and we highly recommend it. But it does help that we're both business women. We have certain personalities because I have seen where there is a type A personality working with maybe a C or a different, and it
It
doesn't
does
work
work.
because somebody, either the type A is going to feel like, okay, what's the problem here? How come you're not, getting things done? And then the person who needs a little bit more time and maybe they don't work the same way, they feel pressured and why is this person always on my back? And so it does help with that we have an alignment. We understand what each other's goals are. I know for me, for my nonprofit, Go Wellness Circle was building a board, and I already have 4 people on it. I'm so excited about that. But how do we get funding? What do we do to get funding? The board that we have, they come from different areas, different backgrounds, different industries, and that makes a big difference, diversifying who we work with. And then here's the thing: Go Wellness Circle, we've been able to do all these wonderful fundraisers and programming over the past 4 years, but without funding, and we totally can't keep doing that.
Right.
And so it was important that that was a goal, that was put down, that's real, and
Hmm.
someone else is keeping me accountable for that. Even with Light of Gold PR, getting new clients and diversifying our products, and also doing ebooks. So we have a lot of things in common, and we can work with each other. We can help each other because our perspectives are different. You know,
Exactly.
yeah, and it's so helpful. It makes such a big difference. I know for a fact that accountability partners work because I had an accountability partner for my real estate brand. I have a small brand. We only focus on underutilized office space, mostly in New York City. And before I even started that, I had accountability partner Hope. Hope, shout out to Hope. When we met at a real estate event, we became accountability partners for 1 year. Within that 1 year, we had a couple of goals. Very much the same thing that Rita is saying. Rita is saying, like, just keep it simple. Don't you're not going to take on the world. 3 goals. One of her goals was to get her real estate license. One of my goals was to start a small real estate brand, a LLC, figuring out what I wanted to do, what kinds of services I wanted to provide. Within that year, Hope was able to get her real estate license. She's now working at a real estate firm. I was able to start my Gold Lifestyle Investments real estate brand, and it's exciting, because now that is a real brand, has its own bank account, its own website, its own stuff. It's an official brand. And I couldn't have done that without her staying her keeping me accountable and me keeping her accountable. And within that year, we were able to accomplish the things that we set out to do. And I have no doubt that Rita and I will be able to do the same thing, because it's just making it measurable, staying accountable, having regular meetings. You can't meet sometimes.
Right.
Okay,
It's got to be on the
oh,
calendar.
I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah.
No.
No.
We need to get back to meeting within
Thank
2 weeks. And
Yes.
this is what we have to accomplish. And guess what? If we don't accomplish it, that is going on the agenda, the next agenda item for next time, because life be lifing. We get it. Things come up, people get sick, things happen with our families, whatever. It comes up, but it has to stay on the agenda for the next time. It can't just fall off.
And accountability, depending on your partnership, doesn't have to be a long-term thing. When I
Yeah.
was making some changes to my business, because one day I had a conversation with someone and I said, I just want to start over. And they said, okay, so what would you be doing? That's a
Mhm.
really good question.
Right,
I
right.
don't know.
And I didn't expect you to ask me that.
you know? And then I have another partner who, once I said, I think I know what I'm going to do, that person said, okay, so when are you going to commit the time to do it?
Yes, that,
And
that.
I don't report to them. However, it was that insight, that thought stimulating, that
Yeah,
helped, so that when Deborah and I meet, I've got a clearer focus. And we
yeah,
could do a whole session on the retreats that we do. We
yeah.
don't have enough time in
Yes.
9 minutes to talk about that.
We're going to bring Rita back. We're going to see if we could create a program, for everybody too, a little small accountability program. Maybe some of you are struggling with this, and maybe Rita and I can put our heads together and come up with something measurable that you could do, that we can
Yeah,
help you do,
yeah.
for a program. So we're going to work on that. And then we're going to definitely bring Rita back when she gets that book, that ebook. We're going to bring her back. She's going to talk about, she's going to share about that. There's so much more than this is just the tip of the iceberg, but we want to start the conversation with the accountability. The meetings are critical, making sure there are 3 measurable, not non-overwhelming goals. A little
Right.
bit of fire under you is good, but something that is totally not attainable within a certain amount of time, that's not good also.
Right.
So we made sure it was something that we knew we could accomplish. So, I wanted to make sure if anybody has comments, questions, we want to open it up for anybody that's watching. If you have any questions for either myself or for Rita, we're happy to answer them for you. Rita, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
So the best way is going to be via email or texting or
Okay.
WhatsApp. WhatsApp is great. I'm
Mhm,
RW Bogar on WhatsApp, and that's probably the easiest way to reach out
mhm.
to me. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and I was just thinking, great. And I'm just double checking because I've been on
Mhm,
WhatsApp so much. Because
mhm.
I don't know when you're connecting if you need to have the person's number.
Right,
However,
right. Yeah, because a lot of times we go into if someone has your number, they could also pull you up. But just in case, what's your email address? I'll drop it into the comments.
I wish I could type. I can't.
I got you. I'm typing right now.
Okay, use the one that you send my business to, Rita at Personal Develop Solutions on Microsoft.com.
Okay. Rita at personal.
Personal Develop
Mm-hmm.
Solutions
Mm-hmm.
dot on Microsoft.com.
Got it. All right. So this is a good way to reach out to Rita. If
Yes.
any one of you has any questions, and of course, you could also always reach out to me at info@lightofgoldpr.com. We're also we're both on social media as well as ourselves.
LinkedIn.
You could
LinkedIn is good.
LinkedIn if you want to reach out. Those of you who are watching, obviously, we're connected on Facebook, LinkedIn, also YouTube. But for those of you who are not connected to Rita, or if you want to connect with her on social media, Rita Williams Bogar,
You put
right?
in my LinkedIn
Mm-hmm.
link.
Yes. Okay. See if I can find that. I'm always afraid to navigate away from the page. Every
Yeah.
now and then I leave and then I'm like, where? That actually already happened. That's why you kept talking in the beginning.
Okay.
But we're all findable. We're both findable. But if anyone has any questions, you have questions about smart goals, accountability, or marketing, please feel free to share. Drop it in the comments. I'll definitely can share it, and we can talk about it uh, right here on the live. So feel free to share. So I feel like Rita, I think, and you and I are both business people. I know that so many people feel like certain things are not attainable. They just feel overwhelmed. They feel like they can't get certain things done, and they're just like, you know what? I'm just tired. I I need to start over. Hey Dawn, Dawn Johnson is one of our new board members for Go Wellness Circle. So thanks for watching, Dawn, and appreciate you being here today. So, anyone has any questions, please ask us. But for those of you who feel, I don't know, you just feel like you can't, do one more thing, or you feel discouraged. Maybe we both been there.
Been
Um,
there.
been there, done that, and guess what? We'll probably be there again. I mean, when you are self-employed, when you have a business, trust me, you will be discouraged, like down. Clients come and go. I mean, partners come and go, team members come and go, and then you gotta guess what? You gotta pick yourself, dust yourself off, and keep it moving.
Right.
That's it, right,
I put
Rita?
my I yes, and I
Yeah.
put my LinkedIn in the private chat so that you can copy and paste it
Oh, okay, good, good. Let me get that.
into the regular chat.
Okay, got it. I'll go ahead. Go ahead, Rita.
But
You can.
yeah, and
You can take it.
sometimes you have to
Mhm.
not only because I don't like the word just, not
Yes,
only is it about maybe I need to dust myself off. Sometimes it's about let's step back and reflect on why something is or is not happening. Because if you dust yourself off and you do the same thing that wasn't working in the first place, you're just going to get more of that. So
that's true.
analyzing in project management and in lean, we talk problem solving, we talk about finding the after action review. Here's what transpired, or here's what I wanted to have happen. Here's what really happened. So, what's the difference between the two? What is something that I might need to do differently? Maybe it's the
Yes.
client you need to approach differently or a different client. I've had to change the way that I operate with some of my clients because it
Hmm.
didn't align with
Yes.
values. You know,
Yes.
I'm patient with people. I'm not patient with things not going the way they're supposed to when there is a
Mhm.
better way. And
Yes.
so sometimes there are people who or organizations or entities who say, well, this is how we do it. Okay, well, this doesn't work for me. An
Right.
example, if I
Right.
invoice you, I'm not waiting 90 days to get paid. Okay. And
Sorry.
there's some
No,
organizations who don't start processing payments until 120 days.
that's crazy.
Oh, yeah. And
That's
it's
crazy.
okay not to chase that. It is really okay
It
not to
is it
chase
is
that.
okay, and this is perfect, Rita, perfect segue. You don't even know about this. I had a meeting with a potential client. We do an e-blast, just kind of letting everyone know what's going on with us. Hey, this is what we've done. Hey, we'd love to help you. This is what we like to kind of do show and tell. We like to show you what we've done and what we've accomplished, and then see how where you fit in with that. And I had someone reach out to us and she wanted a meeting to find out how we could help her with her PR and marketing. And whenever this happens to you, those of you who are watching, all I could say is back away. Okay. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happened. So we're talking, the call was mostly a complaint about previous PR and marketing firms. And I had to, I said, hey, I'm really sorry that that happened to you, but you can look up our reviews. We're happy to share references. We've been doing this for 18 years, totally confident in the work that we've done, and our clients. We can present clients who we work with who have been happy with us as well. She just could not stop talking about that. She just stayed in that place. So what she wanted from Light of Gold PR was something called, that's not real, by the way. It's called um, performance-based PR, which is not a real thing, y'all. It's
Oh,
performance. There is no such thing.
she didn't want to
She
pay.
didn't want to pay. Thank you, Rita. I knew she was gonna. I knew. So she wanted to know if we would be willing to work and deliver, and then she would pay.
No, no, no,
Um,
no.
this is a family show, so I'm not going to say what I was thinking about. It's deep. I could say hell no because that's about as deep as I want to go. But it was I said, I'm so sorry we can't work that way because we have bills, we have a team we have to pay. We absolutely cannot work that way. We are not commissioned salespeople.
Right, right,
Hello. We have
right.
there are So are you going to pay for all of the tools and everything that we have to use to be able to deliver this? She only wanted to pay based on performance, or hey, if you get me on CBS or on um, the New York Times, then we could pay for that. No, we can't
No,
work that way. That's
no.
impossible. And guess what? What's your incentive for paying us after you got there?
Right,
After we
right.
got you there, what's your incentive for paying us then? We've already given you what you wanted. So if any of you ever is in this situation where it does not feel good, it feels wrong, it feels grimy, it feels like a scam, by the way. Okay, if it feels that way, back away.
Back
You can say
away.
no. You could say no. Do not go into that place of desperation where you feel like,
Exactly.
wow, I have not gotten a deal in so long. I think, this is the only engagement I've gotten for a while. I think I should do this. No,
Let
that's
me
not what
share
that means.
let me share something on that very thought because so much of being a business owner is about your mindset.
Yes.
And early on, before I got booked way in advance, early
Mhm.
on, I looked at my calendar and there were all these open dates on my calendar. And I almost started hyperventilating because I
Yes.
started thinking, oh my
Yes.
goodness, I got this to pay, I got that to pay. Yeah, I like to live, I like to eat, just
Yes.
basics. And then I did a mindset shift.
Yes.
And I went from, oh my goodness, I've got all these empty dates on my calendar to, oh, I've got dates for clients who don't know they need me yet.
I love that. I
Big
love that.
shift.
That's a big shift.
Big shift.
I
I
love
went from
that.
an empty calendar to, you better get on my calendar because I'm
Absolutely.
typically booked a year out. And people go, wait, what? And I go, yeah. Or I have
Yeah.
something now where they're saying, well, can you do this in November? It's September. If you had
Yeah.
asked me in May, probably.
Right.
But now I actually have no dates available
Right.
in November of
Yes.
2025.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that
And
shift,
that's a great thing when you get to that point, you know.
yes.
And you
And
just
that
had to
shift,
reframe it
I have
in
to
your mind.
reframe it because
Yes.
even if the
Yes.
dates were empty, it just meant that there was somebody who didn't know they needed them
Yeah,
yet.
exactly. I love that. I love that. That's definitely a wonderful way to reframe it.
Yes.
And that's great advice. Anybody who needs to reframe something in your mind, and it feels really negative, it doesn't need to be that way, if you reframe it. So, I love that. I love that. And so I think when we operate from a place of fear, we are going to go down a really awful rabbit hole.
Yep.
We don't want to, that we would have wished that we did not say yes to a opportunity, a partnership, a client, because it was based on a sense of desperation.
Yeah. And you don't want that
And
ever.
we were actually taken advantage of because other people, other organizations, they can smell that.
Oh,
Okay. They
yeah.
can
Sharks
smell
can
it.
smell the fear.
Yeah, they can smell the fear. So don't do it. Don't do it. Oh my God, Rita, do you know we are over an
I
hour?
was just looking at
Oh,
my
I
clock.
know we're gonna have to say our goodbyes, but thank you so much for being our guest.
You're welcome.
Oh
Thank you for
my God,
having me. This was
that
great.
this was great. This was
Absolutely.
and we gotta have you come back because this was. I know people when they see the replay of this, when they play this, they're gonna be thirsty for more information. Let's go ahead and get a little program together, whether it's for accountability or SMART goals or executing some things and incorporating a little bit of marketing into it.
Sure.
We can definitely put something together, a great program. So stay tuned, everybody, for that. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this live, please go ahead and like it. Please go ahead and subscribe to us if you're watching us on YouTube. Share the link. We'd love
Share.
to have more followers. Both Rita and I would love that. So share if you found this information valuable, which I'm sure you did. Go ahead and share it. We if you go to our lightofgoldpr.com page, you could actually go to our contacts page and you can message us and you could also join our list as well. So we would love to keep in touch. So stay tuned for some more information. I'm going to be traveling soon, so we're going to be doing a Wellness Wednesday out of the country. And we'll share with you which country that is. We're not going to tell you yet. But Rick and I will be doing that
Yeah.
Wellness Wednesday together. So thank you everyone for watching. Stay tuned for our next Wellness Wednesday and our next Transformational Tuesday and Marketing Monday. Thanks everyone.
Okay.
Deborah Dixon-Anderson here. And
Rita Williams Bogar.
I
Thank
love
you.
that we both have three names. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Bye everyone. Thank you so
Bye.
much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. So we're going to end our stream. Okay. All right, everybody. We are really going to end the stream. It just doesn't want to go yet. All
Oh,
these
okay.
little streams. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Too many windows open in stream. All right. Where are you? It's usually really easy to find, except today. For some reason. Oh, Davita was watching. Thanks, Davita, for watching. And Dawn, you guys rock. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see if I could.